All right, tonight, Maryland's first Republican governor in 8 years is not backing down from his promise to do things a little differently in Annapolis.
Yeah, we have less than an hour left in the 2015 legislative session, and Governor Larry Hogan says if he can't reach a deal with House and Senate Democrats, that's fine with him. ABC 2 News' Christian Schaefer is live at the State House to explain.
Yeah, in Maryland, the General Assembly passes the budget directing how some $40 billion in state money will be spent, but the governor is under no obligation to actually spend all that money. And so with that in mind, the state's new governor, Republican Larry Hogan, spent the session negotiating with Democrats up to a point. Earlier this evening, he held a news conference to say he wasn't going to go any further.
Before the session began, Governor Larry Hogan held a news conference announcing his top priority would be fixing Maryland's so-called structural deficit, which meant the state was spending more money than it takes in. As the 90-day session ends,
I was sent here to change the dialogue in Annapolis. I think we've done so.
If that's true, he's done it by not giving in to demands from House and Senate Democrats to restore more funding for programs most Democrats support, like raises for state employees, medical care for people with low incomes, and more money for public schools. The Democrats made their final proposal this morning.
We cannot pick and choose amongst our constituent group, our state employees, our most vulnerable adults, and our public school children, which we're going to cut. We have fully funded. We have done our job. We're asking the second floor to do its job as well.
By the afternoon, the governor said the Democrats' proposal was too much like what he'd seen over the past 8 years.
The proposal that came out of the Budget Committee on Friday leaves us with a $202 million shortfall for next year and a structural deficit problem of $1.7 billion. That's not acceptable.
But that plan passed the House and Senate Monday night. The governor says at least it contains no tax hikes and the smallest increase in spending Maryland has seen in decades.
If they pass this irresponsible budget, it's very unlikely that any of that fenced-off money will be spent on anything other than fixing the huge hole that they created for next year.
And again, the governor can say that because he doesn't have to spend all the money that's allocated by the House and the Senate. Still about an hour to go in the 2015 legislative session, but the House and Senate have now moved on to other bills. If those bills don't pass by midnight here on Sunny Day, we'll have to wait until next year. Live in Annapolis, Christian Schaefer, ABC 2 News.